one overall pick. We have Orlando on the clock, and that is going to be one Jeremy Woo making the number one overall pick. There's a lot of pressure here, Jeremy. A lot of pressure on this decision.
Oh, yeah, no, this is an easy one for me. I'm taking Jabari Smith. Not going to think about this too hard. For me, he's been the guy, since December when I went to see him. I didn't know as much about him coming into the season. I really got familiar with him, and I spent some time at Auburn, and I'm really convinced that he's the guy. To me, he's in a tier of his own ahead of the other three guys at the top. I think his shooting is just such a special skill. It's going to be really hard to block. I think we're overthinking the whole dribbling aspect of it, just because it's going to be easy for him to get it off. And I think a creative coach will find ways for it to work. And, knowing what we know about him as a defender and as a person and how much he cares and how much of a perfectionist he is and how hard he works, like if I'm Orlando, I just think he's the guy who I want to sort of like set the culture, and I'm willing to like grow with Jabari as my guy. So he's my pick at number one.
So I want to know from any of you guys, is there anyone that would not take Jabari number one? Sam, I know that you are in the camp of Chet and Jabari are kind of on that same tier. Who are you going with number one overall?
Well, it's interesting, and this is something I wanted to pose to Ryan, because I think that you guys had a situation a couple years ago with Luka Doncic versus DeAndre Ayton. How much do you care about fit when considering the number one overall pick? Or you just take the best guy, the guy that's number one on your board, or you just, at the end of the day, you have to consider, hey, we have Devin Booker already, and do we need another ball handler in here? Is there a better fit with a center maybe that can fit with us, right?
Yeah, I think that's certainly something that factors in more, Sam, on the team side than from what I've seen on mock drafts. You need obviously a balanced, competitive team, offense, defense, rebounding, passing, all those kind of things. So part of our thought process, right or wrong, and keep in mind there was some discrepancy, right? I got fired in preseason, and Igor Koshkov got fired after 1 year. Yeah. But part of our thought process was the balance, with Devin Booker in the backcourt, DeAndre Ayton in the front court, rebounding, defense, defensive potential. Obviously, he wasn't a great defender at U of A, certainly improved in that area. And then, just the physical anchor on the interior. And then after we got Ayton, getting Bridges on the wing in that same draft to put in between them, we thought that was obviously criticized. Luka's been phenomenal. Those three guys and the Suns have done pretty well collectively. So that's why one of the things why it's so hard for a team. You're not drafting, in a vacuum, or it's easy to go. I think sometimes go back and nitpick and say, well, it should have been this guy. You need to bake all of that in and figure out when you hand the ball to the coach in training camp and say, look, play these guys, figure out how to play them together. How is it all going to work, and how are the guys going to complement each other?
Right. And I think at the end of the day, that's why I was I think I would, at the end of the day, if I was Orlando, probably consider Jabari Smith over Chet, despite the fact that I might have Chet at number one on my